Greetings, my name is Wrath, and today we're going to look at more disturbing activity from the cult of Hyperianism and its leader, MorgueOfficial. Today we're going to be exploring Hyperian Tik Tok. Though it is small, it is still extremely disturbing. What we have on TikTok is a very young Hyperion inviting a very young audience into Hyperianism by calling it a cult, asking the viewers, the very young TikTok audience, if they want to be in a cult, giving them instructions on how to sign up for this cult. And we will see later in the comments, Morgue approves. Of course, I actually know this Hyperion, and I want to make sure that I am very clear that I am not blaming this person, because this person at the time of these videos was 18, 19, something like that. I know this for a fact because when I sent Without the Mob There Is No Circus to this person, they said, hey, it's my 21st birthday. I said, okay, go have fun, be safe. Just know that Morgue is a disturbing individual. Here's all the information you need. And this person chose to stay with Hyperianism. This was one of the unfortunate few that read Morgue's message and statement posted secretly on his website, denouncing the PI as nothing more than bigots, haters, and trolls. Of course, this message and statement were cherry-picked quotes and slanted in a way that would make you think that if you were a non-critically thinking, feeling, emotional type that just sees a couple trigger words and instantly thinks it's canceled, or in your early 20s, versus actually reading the book, seeing the context that all of these quotes were in, and deciding for yourself. There's actually a great essay by Castalian in Take Hyperianism to the Morgue, Book 2, by the Illuminist Army. I highly recommend you check that out. It breaks down the entire message and statement situation that Morgue posted on his website. Unfortunately, that did work on these children. Remember, 21 is very young. They were inviting a very young audience to Hyperianism, most of which were not even old enough to join Hyperianism or go to Hyperion events, as we will see. And this person, good kid, he's a good kid, but Morgue's behavior, approving this, even going as far as to getting on TikTok after these events, after these TikToks were posted, because then Morgue can have a TikTok presence. I am in no way blaming this young individual, this young Hyperion. I do blame Morgue. At the time of these TikToks, this Hyperion was 18, 19. Morgue was 31, 32. Knowing full well what's going on here. Oh, great. A young person is on TikTok inviting their audience of youngsters to join a cult, also known as Hyperianism. This is great for Morgue, because as we know, Morgue targets impressionable and vulnerable people. So let's get into it.
I'm feeling devious. You're looking glamorous. Let's get mischievous and polyamorous. Wine and women and wonderful vices. Welcome to the cult of Dionysus.
Wait. Stop scrolling. I'm a little bit offended. Sometimes I think that the majority of my following, probably about half, forgets that the reason why I have so many followers is because I'm in a cult. And I don't mean that I'm a huge stan of some YouTuber who says they have a cult, or like a TikTok artist or whatever. I mean a literal fucking cult.
It's obvious to me that this is a young adult, fresh out of childhood, is exploring their own autonomy, thinks it's cool to look alternative and, typical behavior of that age, right? Again, this person is 18, 19, around this age. Thinking it's cool and edgy to be in a cult and posting that on TikTok for attention. Oh, look, I'm so interesting, I'm in a cult. Stop what you're doing. Check me out, right? Maybe you want to join this cult because it's so interesting and cool and edgy.
And our major base of operations is Los Angeles.
There's no base of operations. You mean Morgue's apartment in Los Angeles? Yes. Morgue does everything from Los Angeles because Morgue is obsessed with Los Angeles and living celebrity Hollywood lifestyle.
If it's true that TikTok shows people from your area, or even if you're around the world, even if you live in Australia, we have followers there too. If you think that you are ready to become something so much more than merely human, then check out my Instagram. I can answer any questions that you might have. My DMs are always open, and I can get you in.
If you are ready to become so much more than merely human, hit me up. I can get you in. You know, if you're 18, 19, or younger, or slightly older, you're going to think that's the coolest thing. That's, it's hip. Your parents wouldn't want you to join a cult, would they? So obviously, that is meant to attract children to Hyperianism. And it's a cult as advertised by one of the cult members. It's absolutely a cult. And Morgue's in the comments of these videos supporting this. So every time Morgue says it's not a cult, refer to these videos. It's not a cult when that narrative suits Morgue. And it absolutely is a cult when that narrative suits Morgue. Isn't that interesting? Nothing quite like doing TikTok dances with all of your cult information to bring in the youth, right?
Tell all of your friends that I'm crazy and drive you mad, that I'm such a stalker, a watcher, a psychopath, and tell them you hate me and dated me just for laughs. So why do you call?
Hi, it's me, the cult kid of TikTok, here to talk about my cult again.
I would love to point out here that this person is referring to themselves as the cult kid of TikTok. As I mentioned before, this person is on TikTok advertising themselves as a cult kid to get attention and to bring attention to Hyperianism and to get kids to join. This person self-identifies as a kid, and rightfully so. 18, 19, you're still a kid. 21, you're a kid that can drink. You know what I mean? So this person self-identifies as a kid, as a cult kid. That's what makes this kid different than other kids. That's what makes this kid special. That's what makes this kid beyond human. This cult kid. And you can be beyond human too if you come to this website and sign up. Sound like a cult?
And I feel like I wouldn't be a true Hyperion if I didn't point out the societal parallel to you guys.
You have self-identifying children, cult children, getting the Hyperion brand on their neck. Look at this. This is a permanent tattoo. This kid has the rest of their life to live. He's going to grow older and always have the Hyperion triskull on his neck forever, because when they were a kid, they happened to join a cult and made some irresponsible choices. How is this kid to know better? You can't expect that of a literal 18 to 21-year-old. You can't expect that. Their brains aren't even fully formed yet. Think about that.
So there's absolutely tons of jokes over the internet where people talk about something called, quote, main character complex, unquote, where people are basically just encouraging others to live their life without worrying about boring people's opinions. Wear a ball gown to the grocery store, shave your eyebrows off, and paint clouds above your eyes. You get the gist. And this in itself is such a massively Hyperion ideal.
As we know, Hyperianism is completely based on identity politics.
In the philosophical theory of Hyperianism, there are two types, basically groups of people. There are Hyperions and there are Ignavi.
Every cult has an us versus them aspect, which is what this Hyperion is advertising now.
Ignavi are the people who give you dirty looks or even, call you out for wearing a ball gown to the grocery store. Hyperions are the people wearing the ball gowns to the grocery store.
And other than sending money to Morgue, thinking that's going to somehow change the world, but all it really does is change his lifestyle from rich to richer, that's about all Hyperions do.
Ignavi are the people who never quite mentally evolved past what was put directly in front of their faces. And I mean traditional gender roles, pressure of social acceptability, strict and confining religion. They're pretty much asleep to the entire world of possibility beyond what was placed in front of their face. And they're uncomfortable with the people who break those boundaries, which is why they lash out and they're homophobic, they're transphobic, fashion phobic, you name it. Hyperions want to get rid of the existence of Ignavi by encouraging them to wake up, encouraging them to evolve, expand their minds, and evolve themselves into Hyperions who are free to do whatever and become whoever they choose.
So Hyperions want to rid the world of people who dress and act and think by default. They want you to wear a ball gown to buy groceries, or you're not evolved and you're not enlightened. And just to bring back a quote from David McAfee's article, a former reality TV star now leads a dangerous anti-science cult. Morgue seems to target college-aged individuals who are disenchanted with religion and society, according to Jared Hammer. So, actually, both journalists that covered Hyperianism say the same thing. Morgue makes arguments that appeal to folks who've become disenchanted with religion and society, meaning college-aged people are a key demographic. The problem is, the more I look into it, the more it looks like a cult. Because it is a cult. And they're recruiting on TikTok.
Hyperions are world shapers. We create our own reality. So if you're the type to wear a ball gown to the grocery store, you just might be Hyperion. You guys wanted an explanation video. This picture shows, like, the basic mission of Hyperianism.
Let me just read a part of this to you. Hyperianism is a philosophy/knowledge system that is founded upon ontological mathematics, logic, and reason, our holy trinity. Okay, sans the reference to Catholicism, Hyperianism was founded on ontological mathematics, which is not the property of Hyperianism. It is the intellectual property and amazing work of Mike Hockney and the other PI authors. This is the whole problem, is that, as you can see, Hyperianism is all about wearing a ball gown to the grocery store, and ontological mathematics has nothing to do with that. Check out my video about Morgue's plagiarism of ontological mathematics, and you can see why the Pythagorean Illuminati are very angry about this situation.
And our belief system, we are not religious. We're actually extremely anti-religious. So there's that. And Morgue isn't our cult leader. He's just our spokesman. And he makes a lot of our content, like, for beginners. So this is him. I met him. This is the Hyperion website, and I put it in the comments of the other video, and also in the caption.
Morgue's not our cult leader. He's just the only person that speaks, the only person that holds events. I'm so proud to have met him. And when you go to the Hyperianism website, there's his face.
Because I told you guys, if you want to join, use the website. If you are actually legitimately interested in the cult, click this button that says synthesize now.
If you're actually interested in joining this cult, this guy's not our cult leader, but click on the button underneath this guy's face to join this cult, and that's absolutely not our cult leader.
And after reading through the material on that page, you're going to get this form.
If it's not obnoxiously obvious, why do you think that this Hyperion is doing so much work to advertise to kids on TikTok for Hyperianism? To get approval and praise from Morgue, the cult leader.
Some requirements are that you have to join the Facebook group so that Morgue gets to know who you are. You don't have to pay anything.
Again, if Morgue is not the cult leader, why is it that Morgue is the only person that speaks, holds events, does live streams, writes books, has all the final say on what is and what isn't Hyperion, is the face above the button that you click to join the cult, and needs to get to know you when you join the Facebook group? Does that sound like what a spokesperson does? Why would a spokesperson have those responsibilities?
It's not a church. If you prove that you're dedicated and you understand the material, you will get accepted. And this is a lifelong commitment to the betterment of the world as a whole, but you can leave at any time if you want to. We're not forcing you to do anything.
Except when people did leave, Morgue swatted them. Yes, literally swatted ex-moderators of Hyperianism. So, can you leave?
Ad Astra, my friends.
Not an autographed photo of the cult leader licking a sword. It's an autographed photo of the spokesperson licking a sword, who happens to also be the face of the website and everything else. This Hyperion clearly adores Morgue and is doing everything they can to get Morgue's attention, approval, and to bring other people in so that they can get the good Hyperion head pats. To close this video, I think we should look at some of the comments so that you can see what type of engagement this is bringing to that TikTok. What's the name of the cult? Hyperianism. Who else trying to join a cult? Do it, I dare you. I'm interested, but how do you get started? Check out is IamHyperian.com. I want to join. Check out the site Hyperianism.com and the admittance form is on one of the pages. I want to join. Check out my Insta story. Are cults as scary as people paint them to be? / what are the meetings like and what do you do? Specifically help to create Public Bank LA, the first independent citizen-owned bank system separate from Wall Street to put the power back into... Let me clear this up. This is very important. Morgue and Hyperianism had nothing to do with Public Bank LA. Public Bank LA had an event that Morgue attended, took one selfie, gave one shout out on Instagram, had nothing to do with Public Bank LA at all. In fact, let's look at the Public Bank LA team. Trinity Tran is the co-founder and lead organizer of Public Bank LA. David Jett is the business and technology executive and social finance advocate from Los Angeles. Ben Gordon is the director of lending and housing with Public Bank LA and California Public Bank Alliance. Naveen Agrawal is the finance director of Public Bank Los Angeles and organizer with the California Public Bank Alliance. Jiyoung Carolyn Park is an organizer with Public Bank LA. She is a sustainable economies legal fellow with a law practice focusing on sustainable economies, labor, employment, and civil rights. Dan Pellegro is an organizer with Public Bank LA, specializing in payments, architecture, and card acceptance operations. Rachel Rose Lucky is an organizing team member of the Public Bank LA. Tanner Glenn is an organizer with Public Bank LA. Ben Hauk is the treasurer for Public Bank LA. Where's Morgue? Do you see Morgue? This has nothing to do with Morgue. Public Bank LA is in partnership with Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. This has nothing to do with Morgue. Morgue went to one of their events, took a selfie, and that's it. Are you allowed to leave? Yeah, anytime. There's no formal leaving process. Simply stop participating in Hyperion content and that's leaving. We talked about this. Morgue swatted people that left. I actually watched a bunch of Morgue's videos and I am definitely interested. Very, very enlightening. Oh my gosh, I joined! I was interested and I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna join. So I did. Welcome. Thank you. I can't enter the war room even though I made an account and everything. You have to be a trusted member for quite a while. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, gotcha. So as we can see, this tactic of having a young person advertise for Hyperianism on TikTok where young people are actually worked and brought many people to the cult. And then, as we've seen in the comments, Morgue is approving all of this. Once again, before we end the video, I would like to say I do not blame this Hyperion, this young, impressionable Hyperion. They are not to blame. Morgue is. Please respect this Hyperion, do not harass or bully them, leave them alone. If you'd like to learn more about the War Room, go ahead and check out my video where we explain that with former Hyperion moderators Christina and Jewel. And as always, please educate yourself on this dangerous cult by picking up Take Hyperianism to the Morgue, books 1 and 2 on Amazon Kindle. If you'd like to educate yourself further on this cult, there is another book by Dave Sinclair called Delete Hyperianism. Thank you.